Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Sengoku Basara for Sumeragi live stream. We are 3 characters away from finally completing Sengoku Basara for Sumeragi altogether. We are going to play as the last 3 newcomers of... We're going to play the last 3 newcomers of Basara for Sumeragi, Rikyu, Kyogoku Maria, and we end the series of live streams altogether with the Shogun himself, Ashikaga Yoshiteru. Also, hello Tsukumo, welcome to the stream. Yeah, starting off with the Basara for Sumeragi newcomers is Rikyu, or simply known as Rikyu. Now, Rikyu is an interesting character because he's like 2 personalities in one character, right? He has a split personality, Wabisuke and Sabisuke, and that's because he popularized the philosophy of wabi-sabi, which means finding beauty in imperfection. Now, a little historical fun fact about Rikyu: he was a tea master. A tea ceremony master. Now, he used to be the tea ceremony master of Oda Nobunaga, and then when Nobunaga died, he became the tea ceremony master of Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Now, his life ended with a tragedy. He committed seppuku under the orders of Toyotomi Hideyoshi. So that's why in this game, he has a rivalry with the Toyotomi, and also his entire story revolves around him escaping the Toyotomi because Hideyoshi forced him to commit seppuku, or suicide. You know, suicide by cutting off your stomach. So yeah, that's his entire story. That's why his default secondary character is Katsue, because once again, he used to be the tea ceremony master of Oda Nobunaga. Now, I've said it multiple times on my previous streams that I like characters wielding fan as a weapon, right? Fan wielding characters, whether it's fighting games or hack and slash or any other action games. I love characters who wield fans. For example, I like Kitana from Mortal Kombat. I love Zhuge Liang from Dynasty Warriors. I love Mitsunari from Samurai Warriors. And also, I like Rikyu. I also like Yoshimoto in Sengoku Basara 2 Heroes because he wields a fan and he's genuinely a funny character. I wish he made a return in this game, but alas, you can't have them all. So you know what? Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. This is Rikyu's campaign. I do believe his campaign is a rather short one. Matabi. Alright, where do we start? Let's start with the Maida. So like usual, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to break down his character. Now, here's another interesting fact about Rikyu. Out of all the Sengoku Basara characters in this game, he has a unique element. Now, I do believe he is the only character with this element. He has the Kan element, or I like to call it the lunar element. Basically, this element allows him to control gravity. Now, here are the weapons for Rikyu. This is his base weapon. Second weapon, I use his third weapon, as the ultimate weapon because I like the bladed fans. It reminds me a lot of Kitana from Mortal Kombat. This is his fourth weapon. Yeah, he has a feather fan a la Jubilee Young, which doesn't really fit his moveset if you think about it, or if I'm being honest. His moveset revolves around folding fan, so this type of fan doesn't really, or don't really match with his movements. Yeah, I don't know what you call this. Yeah, his alternate colors and the gold weapon. So we're going to start with the base weapon. Same goes with Katsuye. He's our secondary character. We're going to start with the base weapon for him. Now, Rikyu has 4 costumes, considering he is a new character, so he has a DLC costume. This is his base outfit. Hello, Saber Ryuji, welcome. Honestly, Rikyu is my least favorite character, but he's still awesome to play. Yeah, he is. And like I said, he's the only character with the Kan element, or with the Moon element. Base weapon. Base weapon. Base costume. Secondary costume, which looks amazing. This is easily my favorite costume for Rikyu. Third costume. Oh, why is this taking so long? Yeah, this is just an alternate color of his primary costume and his DLC costume. Ken from Street Fighter. So we're gonna start off with his primary. Same goes with Katsuye. Primary costume, secondary costume, DLC costume. It's just him wearing Nagamasa's color. Third costume, and his DLC Monster Hunter costume. Gonna start off with their base outfits. I always play Rikyu with his second costume and his Street Fighter costume. Yeah, absolutely, that's the better choice. Ryuji, you mentioned about Hanbei's theme being your favorite in Sengoku Basara, and looking back at the top 10 Sengoku Basara 2 Heroes character themes, I kind of regret not putting Hanbei's theme in that list because I often forgot Hanbei has a theme in Basara 2 Heroes. I love his theme in Basara 4 Sumeragi. I think it's one of my favorite character themes as well. Considering when you play Sengoku Basara 2 Heroes, you rarely... Oh, there is one stage where Hanbei was the boss. It was Kotaro's second stage. Yeah, I wish I put Hanbei in the top 10, but you know what? It is what it is. When I do my Sengoku Basara 4 Sumeragi top 10 character themes, you're damn sure Hanbei is going to be on that list. And I posted in the community post that Hanbei's theme screams Kamen Rider Kiva OST. Like, you cannot tell me listening to Hanbei, like, if you're a Tokusatsu fan, and also hello Sayank, if you are a Tokusatsu fan, specifically a Kamen Rider fan, you cannot tell me that when you hear Hanbei's theme, you do not think of Kamen Rider Kiva. That music screams Kamen Rider Kiva. Like, every time I hear Hanbei's Basara 4 theme, I imagine Kivat's voice in my head saying, "Wake up!" Hello, Kaz. How do you unlock those DLC costumes? Well, you got the DLCs. But if you're talking about get the costumes in PS3 emulator, well, Google it. I'm not gonna share links. You find it yourself. Orochi, hello, it's been a while since I dropped on a Profar stream. Yeah, Orochi, I haven't seen you for a while. I'm a Tokusatsu fan, by the way, and yeah, Hanbei's theme is like Kurenai Otoya playing his violin. Yeah, exactly. I imagine, like, every time I hear Hanbei's theme, I cannot imagine, like, I always imagine Kiva screaming, "Wake up!" and then Kiva about to do his rider kick in the night background. Also, if you want to get these DLCs, let's say if you're a PS4 player, I'd recommend you to get the Sengoku Basara 4 Sumeragi Anniversary Edition, because that's basically the game with all the DLCs in them. So you get everything for that game. Right, so without further ado, let's get started. This Damn it, the heart emoji. This main menu background looks nice. Oh, absolutely. And you want to know even better? In Sengoku Basara for Sumeragi, at least the newer characters, they have specific battle preparation themes. I've said it before, like, I'm a Dynasty and Summer Wars fan. I'm a Dynasty and Summer Wars fan, but Capcom just had better presentation in Sengoku Basara. A lot of the things that Capcom did for their Muso game, Sengoku Basara, was leagues better than what Koei did in Dynasty and Summer Warriors. Okay, so let's go over Rikyu's moveset. So Rikyu is a split personality character. He has Wabisuke, the peace, kind, loving person, and then Sabisuke, the violent one. So this is Sabisuke here. So like usual, Rikyu has a normal attack string and 9 different special attacks. So let's go over his normal attacks first. That's his normal attack. Let's do that again. Again, his element is Kan, so he basically kind of control gravity. He can use the force on his opponent. So yeah, that's his normal attack. Now, he can do an aerial combo like this with the normal attack. Now, Rikyu's vocal theme really lives rent-free in my head. I'm always humming the song in a random time. Yeah. Okay, so let's go over his special attacks. The first special attack, the triangle. He does a force push. Right? See that? He does the force push. Now, if you hold the triangle button, Rikyu will do a force pull, like this. See? That's a force pull. So, triangle is the force push. Hold triangle is the force pull. Triangle, hold triangle. Now his jump triangle, yeah, it's a ground pound, like most Muso characters. Alright, now let's go to his front triangle. His front triangle is a spinning tornado move, like this. Yeah. This is a good move to kind of stack up your combos. So do that. Let's do that again. Front triangle. You can actually cancel your force push with a front triangle like this. See? Or you can do a force... Oops. Or you can do a force pull and then cancel it with a front triangle. Force pull, then go. Most of Rikyu's moves are cancelable. So let's say you start with a normal attack like this. Then go to a force pull and then front triangle. So that's his front triangle. Now let's go over his hold square. This is his hold square. See? It's a launcher. So if you hold the square button, bum, like that, he creates like a super gravity, you could say. He creates like, hello Brian, he creates like a, what's it called? Like a force gravity, downwards force, like this, right? Now, if you hold the square button, he will jump. You see? Now, when he's in the air, you can either do 3 things. So, hold square, jump, and then do a normal attack string. Or, hold square, jump, and then press triangle to do the strong attack. Or, the third option. If you hold the square button long enough, you get a completely different move. See that? So, push, jump, and then thrust. Yeah, so his hold square, you can do it in the air. When you hold the square button in the air, he will perform like a shoulder tackle, like a quick tackle, like this. So let's repeat that again. Hold square, jump, and then normal attack. Hold square, jump, strong attack. Hold square, jump, push. Really has a complicated moveset? Yeah, a complex. He's very complex. Alright, he's one of the more complex characters in the game. I mean, every character in Sengoku Basara for Sumeragi has their own depth. Now, let's go to his R1. Now, the R1 attack is very unique of him. It's basically him using the force. Now, it has a better effect when you hit enemies. So if you just press R1, what this does is collecting near enemies into one point. Now, if you hold the R1 button, when you collect enemies in one point, you can actually move them around. You can move up and down, right and left. You're basically using the force on your enemy. Once again, I will demonstrate that when we actually find enemies. So I'm going to skip that for a while, but for the general purpose, this move is collecting enemies in front of you and then swing them around with the force. Now let's go over his block specials first. Now his L1 triangle is this. Like, he creates a fury of fans. This is a really good combo extender move. So when you press the L1 triangle, you can extend that move by repeatedly tapping the square button like this. Okay? Oops, sorry. Let's do that again. L1 triangle and then square, square, square. Dora PS1 game? Wow, good for you. Now, the L1 triangle, you can do it in the air like this. Again, you can extend that move by repeatedly tapping the square button. See that? Now, you can actually use an L1 triangle to cancel out your hold square like this. Hold square, jump, L1 triangle. That is easily my favorite move of Rikyu. Now let's go to L1 square. His L1 square is a quick launcher. And you can do that in the air. When you're in the air, it becomes a strong ground pound. Now let's do some combos first. With normal attacks, L1 square, and then L1 triangle. So I use my normal attacks, and then hold triangle, L1 square, and then L1 triangle. Alright, now let's go to his R2 specials. His first R2 special is kind of weird, but it is cool. He creates a fan beam, like this. You see, you can hold the R2 button and then control the direction of the beam. Which, by the way, you can do it in the air, like this. Jump and then R2. That's his first R2. Now let's go to his second R2. Now, the second R2 is him performing a tea ceremony. And once again, this move requires you to hit an enemy. Now, his third R2 is him summoning giant boulders. See that? Now, these boulders will assist your any attacks. Any of your attacks. So, let's say you do a normal attack. See? Force pull, force push, and then front triangle. Yeah, it will follow the pattern of your attacks, basically. And it's time-based. Now, if you... also, hello, Menora. Now, if you summon the boulders and then press R2 again, you will throw these boulders into your enemies, like this. See that? You can summon the boulders in the air as well, and throw them in the air. The most damaging R2 in Basara. Hello, Profar. Hello, Menora. The giant boulder ability reminds me of Onoki. Yeah, from Naruto. Exactly. Alright, now let's start the campaign. Once I found... Sorry. Hiccup. once I find enemies, I can show you the R1 moves. A lot more. Right, we're going to fight the Maedas here. Keiji, Toshie, and Matsu. Oh yeah, one more move I forgot to mention. You know that how the ninja characters has a double jump special, like Kasuga and Sasuke will summon a bird, and then Kotaro will do a jump dash. Rikyu has a special double jump, XX. So if you press X while jumping, he will fly like this. Yeah, you hold the X button, right? So you press X and then hold the X button in the air like this. Jump and then X, hold the X button. He flies. These boulders are definitely OP, which is why let's use them to fight the Maedas. Malam Kak Profar, malam Arifadi. Selamat datang. Oh.
暦をつけ間違えちゃって刑事まったくそれがしが大将の何たるかをあんた物騒なもん持ってるねもし松根ちゃんお説教は後ほどってことで
I can hear you speak Indonesian. I mean, I've spoken Indonesian multiple times on stream. Sering kok aku pakai bahasa Indonesia pada saat streaming. Alright, time to use the Basara attack. And we have the boulders as well. Yeah, the boulders will follow your patterns of attack. Nggak banyak yang Indo kok. Rikyu's personal inscription, I kind of forgot what it does as well. Oh, you're Indonesian? Kamu juga Indonesia, Ryuji. Aku kira kamu orang Filipina atau Thailand. Oh, fun fact about Rikyu. His voice actor is Sakurai Takahiro, who voiced Geto Suguru in Jujutsu Kaisen, and also Cloud Strife in Final Fantasy VII. Oh yeah, here's the R1 special. Wait, enemies. Hold the R1 button. See, you collect enemies, and then you can move it right, left, right, up, down, left, and you suck enemies as well because of the Kan element. Then bang. Now for the tea ceremony, let's do the tea ceremony. Look. Trap him in the bubble. By the ladies' man himself. Yep. Did you know, Saber Ryuji, that most of the vocal theme songs of Sengoku Basara for Sumeragi were sung by tokusatsu musicians or tokusatsu singers? Like, for example, my favorite vocal theme is Maria's vocal theme, and she's sung. That theme was sung by Akita Chisato, who is the lead vocalist for Kamen Rider Girls. And some songs were sung by the band that sing Deka Rangers theme and Shinkenger's theme. What's the name? A Psychic Lover, yeah. Some songs were sung by Digimon, like a popular Digimon singer, Miyazaki Ayumi. Isn't an OKO, right? Not sure. I actually plan to stream early tonight around 7 or 8, but ended up streaming at 10 because I had to help my mother, and also I was having a watch party on Discord, on someone else's Discord. We were watching iShow Speed. I don't know if you guys like. I'm not a big follower of iShow Speed, but I just joined in with the watch party because most of the content, or most of the streamers I followed, like the small streamers in Indonesian, like the small streamer community in Indonesia, are reacting to iShow Speed. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll probably just join the watch party in a colleague server. You're from East Kalimantan? Nice. Kalimantan Timur. Like, I've been to East Kalimantan. I've been to Balikpapan. Yeah, that's the only place at Kalimantan that I ever visit. Balikpapan. I haven't visited any other places in Kalimantan. This game seems to have ended a long time ago. What do you mean ended a long time ago? Is it just repeating itself? What do you mean? It's a series. Is Matsu here? Hello, Akmal. Have a great day. Well, it's night, but thank you anyways. Up, down. If you're referring to my streams, Arifadi, I'm doing a marathon of this until I finish every character, and I'm 3 characters away from finishing it. By the way, do you agree that Basara 4 stories are just recap from previous games with adding some new things? Are you talking about stories? Well, in a way, yes. Because the thing with Sengoku Basara stories is that it's not something meant to be taken seriously. Especially Sengoku Basara 4. Sengoku Basara 4's entire premise revolves around, yeah, this is like a big battle royal between every character, every warlord in Japan, so let's just do whatever whatever we want. I mean, it's kind of like Dynasty and Samurai Warriors, where it's more or less a retelling of the same story over and over again with different twists. Well, for Sengoku Basara case, it's a little different from that. It's every entry has its own story that it has some kind of continuity, but for Basara 4 specifically, it is taking the liberty a little bit, or taking the liberties a step further. I mean, I do enjoy a good story, but when I play games like Sengoku Basara, I'm playing it for the gameplay and combat. And Capcom knows how to make a good hack and slash combat, more so than Koei in their Warriors games. And again, this is coming from a guy who loves Dynasty and Samurai Warriors. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy Dynasty and Samurai Warriors. Like, I like the simplicity of Dynasty and Samurai Warriors. But if you're asking me which game has the better presentation and the better gameplay mechanics, Sengoku Basara is leagues ahead. What do you mean, what time is the live? You mean what time do I usually go live? I have no schedule. I have no fixed schedule for streaming. I will go live when I feel like I want to go live. Okay, Matsu. Oh yeah, I felt that. I feel that. Ryuji. Muso games, Basara games are good stress relief games. Sometimes I play Warriors Orgy for Ultimate, but I always play as Chinese God's character. I wish there were more Chinese God characters in in Warriors Orgy 4. I play Warriors Orgy as well, Riju. Hello, Terry. I'll answer your question a little later, Terry. I play Warriors Orgy as well. I mostly play Warriors Orgy 3 Ultimate than 4. I prefer Orgy 3 Ultimate way more than Orgy 4. In my opinion, Warriors Orgy 3 Ultimate is the better game than Warriors Orgy 4 Ultimate. Yeah, I'd rather take more Chinese or Japanese mythology characters than the Greek mythology characters that we have in Warriors Orgy 4. Right, I'll answer your question after I finish the stage, Terry, to give a better explanation. Because I did a little bit of reading about Rikyu. Three Koi Muso games that I often play: Wars Orgy 3 Ultimate, Summer Wars 4DX, which is I'm playing right now, and Dynasty Wars 8. I've 100% Dynasty Wars 8. I've 100% Wars, not Wars Orgy, Summer Wars 4-2. Now I'm trying to get a 100% in Wars Orgy 3 and Summer Wars 4DX. I've 100% Dynasty Wars 5 as well, back in the day, and Summer Wars 2. You always wondered why they added Greek and Norse mythology characters in Wars Orgy 4, and funny that they made Odin as the main villain and Hades in the Ultimate. I'm playing through All Stars. Nice. I have a theory about that, Ryuji. Is it possible because God of War came out at that time? Because Dynasty Wars 9, Wars Orgy 4 came out in 2018. The same year we have God of War. And guess what? That game has Greek and Norse mythology. I'm using the Force. Alright, time to finish KG. I'm just saying, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm not saying that is the main reason or the true reason why they did it, but it is a possibility. Yeah, I know, Norse mythology is pretty common in video games and other pop culture. Looking at you, Marvel. Hey V! What's up, bro? You done with your stream? You done with Dota?
僕はどこまでさまようんだろう。俺はいつまでさまよえんだかな。
I'm so glad that Warriors Orgy 3 Ultimate finally came out on PC. And it's the best version as well, Definitive Edition. At least won some games. Nice, nice. GG, bro. Alright, let's go to the preparation menu first, then I'll explain his backstory. Terry. Hello, Mini Spag. Muso game with Genghis Khan. Could be interesting. I kind of wish we had more Journey to the West characters in Orgy 4. Katsuie. Let's see. Let's pick Shimazu. So yeah, Terry, about Rikyu's backstory. What was his role in the Sengoku period? So Rikyu was a tea ceremony master for Oda Nobunaga. Now, after the death of Oda Nobunaga, he became the tea ceremony master for Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Now, somewhere around the Odawara campaign, at 1589, I do believe, somewhere around the Oda War campaign and the Korean campaign, Hideyoshi forced Rikyu to commit suicide, to commit seppuku. So before he forced Rikyu to commit seppuku, he captured one of his friends and tortured him and then decapitate his head. It was brutal. Okay, that's what I read. Again, I need to do a lot more reading, but I'm just going to explain the general gist of it. He became, like I said, he was the tea ceremony master of Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and somewhere around the Odawara campaign, he had disagreements with Rikyu, or more like Rikyu having disagreements with Hideyoshi, and Hideyoshi forced him to commit seppuku, which he did. Now, in Sengoku Basara, his entire story revolves around running away from Hideyoshi because Hideyoshi ordered him to commit seppuku. So he's trying to run away from the Toyotomi. Now, about Rikyu's split personality. Rikyu popularized the philosophy, a Japanese philosophy called wabi and sabi, or wabi-sabi, which basically... Okay, wabi-sabi philosophy is the view of finding beauty in imperfection. So you realize that the world is imperfect, the world is a broken mess, but at the same time it has its beauty. So it's kind of like a duality, like where there's beauty, there is imperfection, right? It's like a view of duality in the world, which is why he has split personality. And considering the philosophy is called wabi-sabi, his split personality is also named after that. So Wabisuke is the peace-loving personality of Rikyu, and then Sabisuke is the opposite, is the violent, war-loving side of Rikyu. So that's the general gist I can explain to you about Rikyu. And fun fact as well, Rikyu was a playable, or is a playable character in Fate Grand Order. Again, I probably need to do more reading about this character, but generally speaking, that's the explanation for his character. At least the important spot on why Rikyu is portrayed the way he is in Sengoku Basara. So yeah, that's why he has Wabisuke. Are you sure? Wait, I thought Wabisuke. No, I think Wabisuke is the peace-loving one. Sabisuke is the brutal one. Let's see. Sen no Rikyu Wikia. Sengoku Basara. Two souls in one body. Yeah, the pacifist is Wabisuke. The bloodthirsty is Sabisuke. It's the other way around. Yeah. Wabisuke is the pacifist. Sabisuke is the sadist. Pretty insane for a tea master to commit seppuku. If you read a little bit about Sengoku Jidai, especially the later life of Hideyoshi, you'll notice that Hideyoshi was very fucked up after he ruled Japan. Like, the Korean campaign specifically showed a more ruthless, power-hungry side of Hideyoshi. And here's the thing as well I find interesting. Samurai Warriors portrayed Hideyoshi as a somewhat comedic character, because the main inspiration for Hideyoshi in Samurai Warriors was Wukong. Now, in Sengoku Basara, the main inspiration for Hideyoshi was Rao from Fist of the North Star. I found that really interesting, especially when I played Sengoku Basara for the first time. I was like, I didn't know of Fist of the North Star when I first played Sengoku Basara, so I was really surprised to see Hideyoshi the way he is in Sengoku Basara. Like, he's a big man who fights with his fists and a ruthless leader, which he was during the later part of his life. Hideyoshi is really more of a dictator than Nobunaga. In some literature, he was portrayed more of a dictator than Nobunaga. He actually portrayed more as a ruthless warlord than Nobunaga. So okay, we're gonna use their DLC outfits. So for Rikyu, we have Ken from Street Fighter 4, and for Katsui, we have a Monster Hunter outfit. In Warriors Orgy 2, they make a joke with Hideyoshi and Wukong. 3 as well. In fact, Hideyoshi has a special interaction, or he has a special triple attack with Goemon and Ling Tong. So, which mirror the characters of Journey to the West. Hideyoshi being Wukong, Goemon being the pig, Zubaji, and Ling Tong being Shao Wujing. Would rather be executed than commit seppuku. I get why a samurai would do it, but a tea master, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I finally realized that Hideyoshi was based off Rao in Sengoku Basara once I watched Fist of the North Star. Speaking of Wukong, I finally got Wukong on Steam. And I also upgraded my PC. So I got a new liquid cooler. Because Wukong heats your PC so fast. Wukong heats up your PC like crazy, to the point where you could probably cook fried eggs on that PC. Playing the PSP version of Orochi 2. I played that version as well. It's basically Warriors Orochi Z without Warriors Orochi 1. Dude, I love grinding games, especially Warriors games. This game, I grind the shit out of Basara for Sumeragi. I used to grind the shit out of Warriors Orgy 2 on PS2 back in the day, just to get Orgy X. Fun fact as well, Warriors Orgy Z was meant to have an English dub. In fact, they already dubbed the game entirely. It was to be out and called... Koei planned to release that game on the West and call it Warriors Orgy The Collective. But somewhere before, like, a couple of weeks, I heard, before they decided to release that game on the West, they cancelled it. I'm not sure for what reason. It's probably for financial reasons at the end of the day. Because 2008, 2009 was around the same time Koei bought Tecmo. So they had to cut corners somewhere after their massive purchase of Tecmo. Which I've discussed on Discord. I haven't discussed that in a video. Which I've discussed on Discord that other than Koei, the company that wanted to purchase Tecmo was Square Enix. So if Koei didn't offer more money to purchase Tecmo, we would have gotten Square Enix Tecmo instead. I don't like Shimazu's map. No, I'm okay with this, you know, like, I'm not too crazy, but it's not my favorite as well. But I do like the music for the stage because this music screams Crash Bandicoot. Oh, nice, nice. Tsukumo, you bought Sengoku Basara 4 on the PS4. Did you, oh, for Sumeragi. Did you get for Sumeragi or for Sumeragi Anniversary Edition? Because the Anniversary Edition has all the DLCs in it. I could play the English version on PC. Yeah, on RPCS3, there's an English mod for this game. I heard it was the Koei Tecmo merge. Possibly. They canceled the release of Warriors Orchi Z in English because of the merge. It is possible. Fan beam. Well, let's have a tea ceremony. Ah. Oh, no tea ceremony. All right. Use the force. Up, down, right, right, left. Ah, being interrupted by riflemen. Oh, Basara 3 Vanilla? Nice. There's an English version, by the way. It's called Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. Yeah, me is back. Basara 2 Heroes is an amazing game. Hope you like that game. To me, that's the best Musou game on the PS2. $60 on eBay. Not a bad deal. For $5 it better be. Hey, at least they're not scalping you. I remember someone on Tokopedia, it's basically Indonesian's version of eBay. He was selling a Super Mario Brothers NES cartridge for around $100. Like, Super Mario Brothers on the NES is a good game. Don't get me wrong. But to sell a 40-year-old game for $100, an NES game, by the way, is ludicrous. I ain't paying $100 for Super Mario Brothers. It may be the best game that came out in 1985 and the game that saved the video game crash back in the early 80s, but I am not spending $100 just to get that game. I played on an emulator instead. Oh, but the feel is different, Profar, to be playing on an actual NES cartridge. Yeah, you're right, the feel is different. It's better to play on an emulator because I can upscale the visuals. And honestly, like, how different it is, how different of the feel. Again, just because the feel is different, it doesn't mean I'm gonna spend $100 just to get that feel. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers for $100. Super Mario Brothers is like $5 to $10. Even less, I'd say. I'd buy that for $1. There are so many ways to play Super Mario Brothers as well. You can play the GBA version, the All-Stars version. Yeah, exactly. $100, not including shipping. He looks like Wanga. He's Yoshihiro. I mean, Yoshihiro's an old man too in in Samurai Warriors. Except he uses a hammer in Samurai Warriors. This Yoshihiro uses a sword. Hell, I think Yoshihiro's DLC costume in Warriors Orgy 3 is him wearing Huangai's outfit from Dynasty Warriors 7. Oh, DW6 Huangai, best version of Huangai in my opinion. Like, no, best costume for Huangai. Yeah, I know, there are people out there who's just a sucker and then buy it for $100. Just to get that feel. Again, I ain't paying NES game for $100. Hell, I wouldn't even pay a PlayStation 1 game for $100. Metal Gear Solid is my favorite PlayStation 1 game of all time. And if someone sold that, like if someone sold or sell an actual copy of PlayStation 1 Metal Gear Solid for $100, I ain't buying it. I don't even have a PS1 anymore. I play most of my games on an emulator and on PC. There are so many, speaking of games, like there are so many good games coming out this month. Some of them, again, primarily for a Steam user. We got Wukong, Black Myth Wukong that came out a couple of days ago. I have the copy of that game on my Steam account. We just had Final Fantasy 16 coming out on PC. God of War Ragnarok is coming out on PC this month. So many good games coming out in September on Steam. It's a good time. But it's probably not good for my wallet. Oh yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw came out. Still waiting for a Sengoku Basara 3 and Fio Tiger retrospective. Yeah, it's probably gonna be next year because, like I said, I have one more Basara 2 Heroes video. Then after that, I want to cover other games because I've been playing Sengoku Basara for the last 5 to 6 months, and it's time for me to do something else. I love Sengoku Basara, don't get me wrong, but you know, playing these games over and over again for the last 5 months, you gotta take a break, man. Castlevania, the combat feels faster and runs in 60 FPS. Yeah, the PS4 version of Basara for Sumeragi runs at consistent 60 FPS. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is my favorite PS1 game, and its PS1 version is £400, so I will never own it on PS1. Yep. You have the also hello random black guy. Oh, you mean the one-on-one fighters, Dynasty Warriors. It's decent for what it is, but so the first Dynasty Warriors game, it has some good mechanics, it has some good ideas, but I don't. When it comes to like classic fighting games, I don't necessarily find Dynasty Warriors 1 all that attractive, you could say, or all that interesting. Especially compared to other fighting games on the PS1, like Soul Blade and Tekken 3. I would rather play other 3D fighting games from its time than Dynasty Warriors 1. Not to say Dynasty Warriors 1 is a bad game, it's just that other games of the same genre provided a lot more than Dynasty Warriors 1. Ah, Battle Arena Tashinden, that's a classic. Man, One Piece Fight Warriors 3 on PS4 runs at 30 FPS and thus the combat feels slow. The PC port is garbage because the controls you have to use the community control. Yeah, 2015 Koei Muso PC ports are ass, especially for controller support. Summer Warriors 4-2 had that issue as well. Like, it is, I don't know why Koei would limit controller support on their PC ports of Summer Wars 4-2 and One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 when they had full support or full customization in Dynasty Warriors 8 for PC. What's your favorite Fist of the North Star character? Toki. Yeah, I like Toki too. I like Toki and Ray. Especially Ray. One of my favorite things about Ray is whenever he attacks, he does this really ASMR-like battle cry, you know? Shoo! Every time he does the slashes, right? Shoo! Shoo! Like that. I like that. I really love that about Ray. Dynasty Warriors 6 Empires is the only modern game to have music from Dynasty Warriors. Yeah, I noticed that as well, MediaSpag, which is weird. I don't know why future Dynasty Warriors games never put Dynasty Warriors 1 music as an option. And you also want to know another weird, or like another, you could say weird thing I noticed. I'm not sure if you noticed this as well, MediaSpag. But when it comes to retro Dynasty Warriors music from later games like Dynasty Warriors 7, 8, and 9, they often left out a lot of Dynasty Warriors 5 music. So like, you have a lot of you got a lot of DW4 music, you got a lot of DW7 music, you got a lot of DW6 music, but rarely they put DW5 music. Is it 5? Yeah, exactly. I just find it a little weird. I just find it, in fact, not a little weird, a really weird, really weird why they often leave out so many music from Dynasty Warriors 5 in their later games. Where you'd be like, shoo, shoo, and then cut enemies in half. Smileless, Fate Corrodes Me, Dual NRG, some of the best tracks, in my opinion, came from Dynasty Warriors 5. And in fact, Dynasty Warriors 5 is my second favorite Dynasty Warriors game. Is my second favorite Dynasty Warriors game after Dynasty Warriors 8. Now, I have a conspiracy theory about that as well. Dynasty Warriors 5 is the only Dynasty Warriors game where Suzuki Akihiro is not involved. Because I checked the end credit scene, his name is not in the end credit scene. Smileless is good. Dual NRG must have been plagiarized? What do you mean? Let's delete the weapons. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors 8 was peak Dynasty Warriors, and Summer Wars 4 was peak Summer Warriors. Meant they must have stolen it if they didn't include in newer games. I'm not sure about that. Like, I'm not sure what song Dynasty Warriors 5 plagiarized. Okay, let's pick Motochika. Let's pick his best design, by the way. Let's pick Rikyu's best design. Costume number 2. Yeah! Look at that glorious armor. For Katsuie, let's use this one. He is a Zhuge Liang-like fan, but again, his moveset doesn't really fit much with this fan, so I'm just gonna use the folding fan. So yeah, let's use this one. For Katsuie, let's use the green blade. Kind of like how... Okay, hello Danny the Best, welcome. Kind of like how that guy who made all the DBZ music in Japan got caught with plagiarizing, Yamamoto Kenji. Yeah, I'm playing as Ken. I just wore Ken's outfit. Now let's see if Dynasty Warriors Origins can surpass Dynasty Warriors 8. I see potential in that trailer and the brief gameplay. I see potential as well in Dynasty Warriors Origin, but I'm gonna believe how good of that game when I actually play it or see it by myself. Because I do have a feeling that Dynasty Warriors Origins, which I don't want, by the way, I hope I'm wrong, I have a feeling that Dynasty Warriors Origins is going to take the same route as Samurai Warriors 5. What I meant by the same route as Samurai Warriors 5 is that Koei is going to release that game, and then that's it. It's just a game that they have to release a new Dynasty Wars game for the sake of releasing a new Dynasty Wars game, and then no other update, no other support, nothing. Samurai Warriors 5 is almost, what, 4 years after that game is released, and no Extreme Legends or an Ultimate Edition for that game. It's just dead. I feel like Koei kind of forgot about that game entirely. But again, for Dynasty Wars Origins, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Omega Force and Koei ends up creating one hell of a banger game in Dynasty Wars Origins, but only time will tell. Dynasty Wars games. Like I said, Dynasty Wars 8 is my personal best Dynasty Wars game because it has everything that I want in a Muso game. You have a lot of characters. You have a relatively good story. Every character is unique. You have multiple complementary game modes. You have a lot of weapons. You can unlock rare weapons like 5th and 6th weapons. Like you have it all in Dynasty Warriors 8. Yes, you can argue as well the difficulty is not as challenging as older Dynasty Warriors games like 3 and 4. But honestly, when I play Muso games like Dynasty Warriors, I'm not looking for difficulty. I'm looking to have a good time. If I want to play something, challenging, I'll go play games like Tenchu, Onimusha, maybe Souls games. Maybe I'm gonna play Wukong to have the fun of getting your ass kicked, but not in Dynasty Warriors. Dynasty Warriors 8, like I said, difficulty is easier, or like is not as difficult as 3 and 4, and not to mention, this might be a hot take as well. A lot of the difficulty from older Dynasty Warriors games like 2, 3, and 4 are not because the game is actually challenging, it's just more annoying. like how peons can read your inputs, or Lubu in Dynasty Warriors 4 can perform two consecutive Musos back to back. AI Lubu, by the way. Though again, I want some challenge. Not to say that I don't want challenge in Muso games. I want some challenge. I want enemy officers to be legit challenging. I want bosses to be legit challenging, like a boss fight. That's why I appreciate games like Ken's Rage, One Piece Pirate Warriors, Sengoku Basara, because the boss fights are actual boss fights. They treat the boss fight like boss fights. Like, they treat boss fights like a one-on-one fight, like a beat-em-up boss. It's not just, oh, you can one-shot a boss immediately, like in most modern Muso games. You have to fight them one-on-one with a larger health bar, if you know what I'm saying. And sometimes bosses have moves that you cannot play, or you cannot use as a playable character. In Sengoku Basara, for example, some bosses have multiple phases, like Motochika. You have 2 mecha phases, and then you fight Motochika one by one, or one-on-one. Hello, Dominic. Welcome. I think they said they might get DLCs for Origins if it does well. Again, we just have to wait and see. Samurai Warriors 5 Extreme, yeah, the ship for an expansion for Samurai Warriors 5 has long sailed. I don't think, this is just my opinion, of course, I don't think anyone will be interested anymore for a Samurai Warriors 5 expansion, let alone a Samurai Warriors 5 Empires. They might as well just, hello Venly guy, they might as well just make Samurai Warriors 6 at this point, considering they went back to Samurai Warriors 4 for their 20th anniversary and released it on Steam. And not to mention, I just find it funny that for their 20th anniversary, they re-released Samurai Warriors 4 on PC, and they've been promoting it a lot on their YouTube community posts, on their Twitter, and they even had community surveys about Samurai Warriors 4, which again, I find it a little bit interesting, because why would you have a community survey for a re-release of a game that came out 10 years ago? So, the way I see it, Koei might move on to Samurai Warriors 6, and they might Like, they might revert back to on how they did Samurai Warriors 4 and use that. Like, they're gonna use Samurai Warriors 4 for their basis in the next Samurai Warriors game, Samurai Warriors 6, or whatever game, whatever new Samurai Warriors game that they plan to release. They're gonna scrap the idea of Samurai Warriors 5 altogether, which is kind of a shame. Samurai Warriors 5 has some interesting ideas. Like, I do like the reboot aspect of Samurai Warriors 5, so only focusing on a certain period of the Sengoku Jidai. It's just the execution was really, really lackluster. Really, really underwhelming. We'll drink some water first. So, if you wanna, before I continue, if you want to know my rank for Dynasty, Samurai, and Warriors, like Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Warriors Orochi, and Sengoku Basara, for Dynasty Warriors, best to worst, Dynasty, I'm talking generally, Extreme Legends and Empires include. Oh yeah, speaking of Empires, Samurai Warriors 5 Empires, Saber Yuji. I don't think we're gonna get Samurai Warriors 5 Empires, because whatever we got in Samurai Warriors 5, it's going to be difficult to translate that to a Samurai Warriors 5 Empires. Like, you have 37 characters, unique, quote-unquote, 37 characters and only 15 movesets. Like, how are you gonna make a Samurai Warriors 5 Empire game, sorry, a Samurai Warriors 5 Empires game with 15 movesets? That's one thing. And also the map. Chris Gillard actually mentioned this on a live stream. If ever Samurai Warriors 5 is being developed without an Extreme Legends or an expansion, Koei can either do two things. One, cut the map of Japan. Only the center part of Japan is your Empires game. So only the mainland Japan, like the center mainland. So you're gonna leave out Kyushu, Shikoku, and Tohoku for Samurai Warriors 5 Empires because it's focused on the era of Nobunaga, which is a bad idea. Because the entire point of Samurai Warriors Empires is to conquer the entirety of Japan. Because you only have few characters and few movesets, and only the Nobunaga era characters, so you're gonna have to cut the map. Now, if you want to do the entirety of Japan, right? This is the second scenario. You have the entire map of Japan, but you need to bring back the missing characters for Samurai Warriors, because you cannot have the entire map of Japan in a Samurai Warriors Empires games without the Hojo, the Sanada, the Date, the Shimazu, the Chosokabe. How you need to bring back these characters. You need to bring back characters like Yoshihiro, Masamune, the Sanada, Masayuki, Nobuyuki, Yukimura, who else? Date, Chosoka, Motochika. Yeah, you need to bring back all the Hojo. We don't have a Hojo character in Samurai Warriors 5. So what, are you gonna make these characters generics? Are you gonna make a generic Ujiyasu Hojo? Are you gonna make a generic Motochika? Are you gonna make a generic Yoshihiro? You need to bring back these characters. And when you bring back these characters, what do? Are you gonna clone them as well? Are you going to give them the clone movesets of Samurai Warriors 5? So, if Koei wanted to make a proper Samurai Warriors 5 Empires, they need to bring back a lot of characters and make sure these characters are not cloned. You're gonna piss off a lot of old-time Muso fans if you ever make a clone of Yukimura. It's already bad enough that Samurai Warriors 5 gave Nobunaga, like Demon King Nobunaga, a generic katana weapon. That is absolutely criminal. The main character of that game has a generic weapon. That is insane. I don't know what Omega Force was thinking when they decided to do that, but to me, it was a terrible decision. You're gonna piss a lot of fans off if you bring back Yukimura in Samurai Warriors 5 Empires and give him the generic, like a clone moveset, and it's the spear clone of all weapons. So, if Koei and Omega Force, also, hello to the people who just joined, Tohu71 and Vinley Guy. So, if they wanted to make a Samurai Warriors 5 Empires, they need to bring back a lot of these characters and make sure they're unique. Either bring back look, if you bring back their original moveset from Samurai Warriors 4, they can do that, but that will create like a disconnection between the Samurai Warriors 5 characters and the Samurai Warriors 4 characters. Like, their movesets are going, like, their gameplay style are going to be completely different with the Samurai Warriors 5 characters. So if Koei and Omega Force wanted to make a Samurai Warriors 5, they need to bring back the missing characters and give them new moveset. At that point, considering they need to bring back a lot of characters, they might as well just make a new Samurai Warriors game instead of an expansion to Samurai Warriors 5 or a spin-off to Samurai Warriors 5. That's how I see it. Hope that Samurai Warriors 6 will not use the clone system. Yeah, I'd get rid of that. I've said it multiple times on stream. I'd get rid of the weapon swapping system in general. Let's make characters again. One of the reasons I love Sengoku Basara is because I like that every character is individual. Every character is unique. And don't give me the reason, oh, because they have 90 characters. Again, cut back the characters. I feel like a lot of the characters in Dynasty Warriors 9 or in Samurai Warriors 4 could be cut back. Oh yeah, ranking on Samurai Warriors and Dynasty Warriors games. For Dynasty Warriors games, for best to worst, I'd say Dynasty Warriors 8, and then second would be Dynasty from best, right? DW8, DW5, DW7, DW4, DW. An unpopular opinion, I like DW6 more than DW3. DW6, DW3, and here's probably another unpopular opinion. Despite the problems it has, I'd much rather play Dynasty Warriors 9 than Dynasty Warriors 2. So Dynasty Warriors 2 is at the bottom. For Samurai Warriors 4 is on top. And then second would be Samurai Warriors 2. Third, Samurai Warriors 1. Samurai Warriors 5. And then at the bottom, Samurai Warriors 3. Warriors Orgy 3 is the best. Second would be Warriors Orgy 2. Or Warriors Orgy Z, right? Warriors Orgy 2. Warriors Orgy 1, and at the bottom, Warriors Orgy 4. Sengoku Basara, 4 Sumeragi is the best. After 4 Sumeragi is 2 heroes, and I'm just gonna mention top 3 for Sengoku Basara. Top 3, Basara 4 Sumeragi, Basara 2 heroes, and Basara 3 Utak. So, you know what? Let's continue the campaign. I've talked too much. I agree. Much rather play Dynasty Warriors 6 than the early games. Yeah. Now here's the thing. I think Dynasty Warriors 4 is the better game than Dynasty Warriors 6, but subjectively, I'd play Dynasty Warriors 6 more so than Dynasty Warriors 4. The only PS2 Dynasty Warriors game that I constantly come back to is Dynasty Warriors 5. Five is still on my list of games to play. I played 5 Empires. Oh, 5 Empires is amazing. The perfect Empires game for me is like Dynasty Warriors 8 is almost the perfect Empires. Is almost the perfect Dynasty Warriors Empires game. If Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires have Soul Calibur levels of customization, mainly Soul Calibur 5 and 6, that would have been the perfect Empires game for me. Oh, nice! Warriors Orgy 3. Yeah, goated game. To me, that is the best Koei Musou game. The best Musou game, period, is Warriors Orgy 3 Ultimate. I've been thinking, once I'm done with Sengoku Basara 4 Sumeragi and Sengoku Basara 2 Heroes, maybe I'll do Streets of Rage content again because Yuzo Koshiro is coming to Indonesia. Maybe I'll stream Streets of Rage. Been a while since I played that game. Like, there are so many games I want to stream. I don't know where to start. Warriors Orgy 3 is so full of content. It's good. The gameplay is good as well. I do like how depth the Warriors Orgy 3 combat has depth, in my opinion, especially with the R1s and the tag system. Warriors Orgy 3 is just a really amazing game. I feel like that's the gold standard for Muso games. I don't know why I enjoyed more playing Summer Wars 5 than 4. I enjoyed not favorite 4 and Spirit of Sanda, still the best. I mean, again, that's perfectly reasonable, Saberuigi. There are games where there are, like, for example, there are games that is objectively worse than others, but you just like it better. It's perfectly normal. Like, for example, Street Fighter games. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is the better game than 2. Because, I mean, not saying Street Fighter Alpha 2 is a bad game, but Street Fighter Alpha 3 just has a lot more than Street Fighter Alpha 2. Like, it has everything that Street Fighter Alpha 2 has, and then made it better. They added more. But some people just like the vibe or just like the feel of Street Fighter Alpha 2 a lot more than Alpha 3. And that is perfectly fine. Like I said, Dynasty Warriors 4 might be objectively the better game than Dynasty Warriors 6, but I like Dynasty Warriors 6 better. I like Dynasty Warriors 7 more than 8 XL. 7 is a good game. 7 XL especially. Wait, someone's texting me. Dynasty Warriors 7 has an amazing story. Sorry about that. I had to answer WhatsApp. I even said it to you guys. Dynasty Wars 2 might be the better game than Dynasty Wars 9, but I would much rather play Dynasty Wars 9 than 2. Just because, to me, Dynasty Wars 2 has first game syndrome. It also, like, okay, Ryuju, since you are a Kamen Rider Tokusatsu fan, like, there are Kamen Rider shows that has an amazing story, but I don't like. I've seen a lot of people in the Tokusatsu community praising Kamen Rider Gaim for its story. And I won't deny that Kamen Rider Gaim has a really good story. However, I don't like Kamen Rider Gaim. Mainly because I cannot take the story seriously with the design. I do not like the designs in Kamen Rider Gaim. Another show that people praise for the story is Kamen Rider X8. People say Kamen Rider X8 has a great story, which probably is. But I cannot stand watching Kamen Rider X8 because of the design. I also like the soundtrack for Dynasty Warriors 7. It feels like it adds more emotion to the fight. Exactly. 100% agree. One of the reasons why Dynasty Warriors 7 has a better storytelling, or it creates better emotion with its presentation, is because of the music. Though, there's one aspect I don't like about Dynasty Warriors 7 music. It lacks battle-specific music. I like Dynasty Warriors 7 story-wise, but DW8 for gameplay-wise. Same with Warriors Orchi 3, good story and gameplay, and Warriors Orchi 4, a bit better gameplay-wise, essentially moveset, but not a good story in my opinion. Yeah, like, gameplay-wise, I'd say Warriors Orchi 4 had more to offer. It's just the presentation is severely lacking, and the amount of replay value in that game. While Dynasty Warriors 8 music is just some cool guitar tracks that are just kind of there. They don't make me feel anything though. Well, there are some tracks in Dynasty Warriors 8 where it made me feel something, or it feels emotional. I did a top 10 2 years ago about Dynasty Warriors music, and the Wujang Plains theme for Dynasty Warriors 8, Hopeful Pain, is one of my favorites. It made me feel something. And I've mentioned in that video as well, that was the music that I constantly play when I was preparing my final exam for university. Like the last assignment before I graduated. So it really felt like a final battle, like an end of an era for me. It will be really cool if we can create our own battlefields in Empire's game. Warriors Orgy kind of did that, you know, Warriors Orgy 3 Ultimate with the, what's it called? Battlefield, what's the battlefield creation called? Custom battlefields would be amazing. That's fair. You can customize your own battlefield in Warriors Orgy 3 Ultimate, by the way. Muso Battlefield, that's what it's called. Yeah, the Muso battlefields allow you to customize your own battles. Aniki! Motochika's theme is still goated. if Samurai Warriors Katsue meet Basara Katsue, I think Samurai Warriors Katsue would be Basara's Katsue's mentor. At least Samurai Warriors Katsue didn't get cucked.
お前は利休
Like, Basara Katsue got cucked in front of his eyes.
せっかく下した挑戦
Ah, Motonaris, Nichirin. The drama route.
お前は利休よかったやっぱり利休なんだなあなた
Yeah, let's fight Naotora. I wanna fight Naotora. Yeah, I'm keeping this outfit. I like this outfit. So let's use the alternate color for Katsuie. Let's use this one. Summer Wars Katsue literally looks like Basara Yoshiro with a spear. Minus the white beard. Or like the white hair.
乙女を侮った罪は重い。その少年、絶対に正してやる。
俺の好みじゃねえぜ。ああいうのはよ。おい、ずるい。
Yeah, Naotora from Basara and Samurai Warriors are complete night and day. Basara Naotora is the superior one, for sure.
俺たちだって少しはやれるところを見せてやろうぜ。なあ。ったく乱暴だな。うちの女衆じゃあるまいし。
お前ら、真一つも守れず、国を守れるか。誰か兵の手当てを。私がやると、傷を広げてしまうからな。
Basara Naotora would be a shame seeing Samurai Warriors Naotora. That would be interesting. How Capcom would portray Naomasa in Sengoku Basara. And if Capcom would add Naomasa, they should add his rival as well, Toyohisa. What compelled them to make her obnoxious? Fanboys.
私の心を覗くのか。ここまでハランチな男がいるなんて。また男衆は
全てが終わった。私は誰だ。
男のくせに腰が入ってないぞ。飯でも炊いてろ。お任せを。虫取りなでしこの花言葉は罠。逃がしません。
Basara Naotora exists to make up for Samurai Warriors Naotora.
俺を彩る死に様を。
そんなもので私たちがやられると思って。
Basara Naotora has her own simp army just to stomp them. That is true.
わびすぎるぜ。お前はよ。この人組こそがモノノフの美学なのです。
How many of you have played Final Fantasy 16? I want your guys' opinion about that game because I plan to get that game. considering the combat director of Final Fantasy 16 was the combat director of Devil May Cry, and that game's combat screams Devil May Cry. I'm interested.
よく見るそう弱点は俺たち男衆だぜ
まったく不甲斐なしお前は今日は飯全てが終わった
私は誰だ
ルキオ許して
You hate Naomasa? Wait, we mean Summer Wars 4 2. Naomasa is not on 4. Sorry, Naomasa is not on Summer Wars 2. I like Naomasa in Summer Warriors 4 2 because he's more or less a Basara Nagamasa light without his over-the-top personality trait. He's more stoic than Basara Nagamasa. Hello, Isaac. Welcome. No, I mean Summer Wars 2. Generic Naomasa. I see. He gets killed off for his own stupidity. Yeah, generic Nagamasa. I played FF16. I feel like the combat... I like the combat, but the RPG part was very lackluster. I felt like it did not know what type of game it wanted to be. I do like a good action RPG. I played Final Fantasy 7. I've played Final Fantasy 7 Remake Integrate, and I absolutely loved it. I'm actually in my second gameplay for 7 Remake. I'm playing it on hard and trying to get everything. Or try to complete everything. I like the playable Naomasa. I've only used him Wars OG4 though, as I don't have Summer Wars 4 2. He's fun to play as in Summer Wars 4 2. He's basically, like I said, he's basically a more stoic version of Basara Nagamasa. I wish I could play FF7 Remake. If you got a PS4, get FF7 Remake. If you got a PS5, get FF7 Rebirth. If you got Steam and you got a good PC, get FF7 Remake. In fact, it's on sale right now for 50%. I need to get a better PC so I can play whatever games I want. Yes. If you have the budget to get a good PC, get it. I recommend people to buy a good gaming PC more so than a console. Yeah, he is in the Battle of Komaki Nagoda, and he's one of the first to screw up there. Bootleg Kamen Rider or bootleg Super Sentai. They're more, I feel like Nagamasa and Naomasa are more Super Sentai than Kamen Rider. Speaking of Super Sentai, where is the Gohon Yari in Sengoku Basara? They're missing since Sengoku Basara 2. I might not be the only one who missed the Gohon Yari from Sengoku Basara 2 Heroes. Naotora sucks though, and I'm fairly hard to annoy. She's somehow one of the few that does annoy me. Basara is the game for you, Isaac. You will love. You would probably love Basara, Naotora. I know she's a bit of a feminist, but she's leagues better than Summer Warriors. Naotora. I mean, if they're written well, character being feminist doesn't bother me. She's not really like a story-driven character. She's just a well-played character or like a well-portrayed character in Sengoku Basara for Sumeragi. At least gameplay-wise, Naotora is really good, and she's not as obnoxious as Samurai Warriors Naotora. Time for a tea ceremony. I like how everybody is sitting down. Respect your tea ceremony master. Don't blame her, to be honest. She's a feminist due to Samurai Warriors Naotora's existence and all her simp army making her lose faith in men. You're not wrong in that aspect, Terry. You are not wrong. Another reason why, or another example why Basara is good, interactions with enemies are so funny. Yeah, exactly. I do like this stage, aesthetic-wise, for Naotora, Inoya Castle. It's her castle with a garden with gardens of flowers. I don't know what it is. I just really like the stage.
ただのハレンチな獣だ。この愛子こそたけだけしい本当の獣だ。お前が歩むのは汚れなき乙女の道。その先にて私は待つ。
Hello, Kempon. Welcome. Yeah, tea time with Rikyu. Yeah, here it is, Isaac. This is Naotora. And speaking of Final Fantasy, she's voiced by Aerith, and also Ling Xiaoyu from Tekken. Yeah, exactly, Saber Ryuji. I would love to play as the Gohon Yari. Nagamasa could easily be the 6th Ranger to Gohon Yari. I'm more of an Eastern Army guy because Tanuki. Her design looks better as well, absolutely. And her gameplay as well is leagues better than Samurai Warriors Naotora. Though I will admit, Naotora is kind of fun in Samurai Warriors. Alright, let's have a tea ceremony. About voice actors, yeah, Sakamoto Maya. She voiced Ling Xiaoyu in Tekken 7 and 8. She voiced Aerith in Tekken 7. In Final Fantasy 7. She also voiced Luna Maria in Gundam Seed Destiny. That's actually cool. That's actually the perfect description, Terry. Disney Princess Castle to represent that it's a woman nation. I hate Tanuki. You know the character in my profile picture? This Tanuki character? He's from Yashahime, the sequel to Inuyasha. And you know what's his name? Takechiyo. Yeah, exactly, Isaac. The gameplay of Naotora is fine, but everything else about her is obnoxious.
あれが足利義輝運命の針が示す先は時代が決める何流行同盟が本能寺に向かっただと Get ready 真田幸村万全でござる Okay, here comes! 待ってなデビルキングお尋ね者か
All Aerith, Crisis Core, and Final Fantasy 7 Aerith. Yeah, Takechiyo. I believe I can fly. Yeah, he fly now. Ah, we have Hideyoshi. Perfect. Let's fight Hideyoshi. Yeah, I'll keep this armor for Katsuie. Let's use the... Should I use this Gundam armor or the Cut armor? Let's use the Gundam armor. I kind of feel sorry for him if I put the Nagamasa armor on him. Let's see. What weapon do I use? I'll use this one. Instead of this fans for Rikyu, let's use the blue one. There you go. Much better. No, not the original one. Yeah, so basically every Final Fantasy VII iteration post Kingdom Hearts. A Japanese voice actor. I think it's post Kingdom Hearts area. Yeah, Saber Ryuji. Unfortunate. Best Aerith is Crisis Core. Yeah, I'm fighting Shima Satoru now. Wish I played Crisis Core. I mean, you can play it on a PSP emulator. Yeah, this is basically Gojo fighting Geto. They got a satellite dish for a weapon. Oh yeah, Sephiroth's voice actor voiced Kojuro, right? Morikawa Toshiyuki. As I said, Rikyu's voice actor, Sakurai Takahiro, voiced Cloud in Final Fantasy. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Rikyu's voice actor voiced Cloud in Final Fantasy. And he also voiced Geto Suguru in Jujutsu Kaisen. That's brutal. Yeah, even in Sengoku Basara, Geto finds interesting way to torture Gojo. Yep. Why am I pronouncing Geto Suguru's name like a New Yorker? Geto. I know he's pronounced Geto, but I keep calling him Ghetto. Like, yeah, he's from the ghetto. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts FF7 in Basara. I really like that move, just constantly slamming him with the force. Oh, Sephiroth English voice actor? Ghetto's gonna get out of the ghetto. No, Gojo is dead again.
Oh, 来たか。主も見やれ。天外に咲くすみれ色の星を。我はな、あれが欲しくてたまらぬらしい。
お膳立ては整えたよ。さあ、君の思う通りに戦ってみせてくれ。
Kingdom Hearts was like the first time we got to see many PlayStation 1 era Final Fantasy 7 characters got to speak. Mami Akainu. Mami Akainu or Mami Kenpachi from Bleach. Kind of weird to hear them speak for the first time in a non-Final Fantasy game. What was the first Final Fantasy game to have voiceovers? Is it Final Fantasy X? Was Final Fantasy X the first Final Fantasy game to have voice acting? Hey, hello, Okuni. Katsui is dressed as Snow White. Yeah, I can see that. Good to see you. Good to see you again, finally on stream. I'm gonna say yes. And they have a good cast of voice actor, English voice actors for Final Fantasy X, like James Arnold Taylor as Tidus, John DiMaggio as Waka. Yeah, whenever I hear the name James Arnold Taylor, all I can think of, I know he does a lot of good voice acting roles, But the one voice I remember him the most was Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars Clone Wars. Yeah, 10. And even in Japanese, Final Fantasy X has some really good voice casts. Like Tidus is voiced by Masakazu Morita, who voiced Ichigo from Bleach, and Keiji from Sengoku Basara. And then Waka is voiced by Nakai Kazuya. And Auron is voiced by Itachi, Ishikawa Hideo. I should really get playing Final Fantasy X. That actually interests me quite a bit. Yeah, I might try Final Fantasy X as well, because I wasn't the biggest fan of turn-based RPG back in the day. But I'm more open to RPGs these days. I wanted to try something new. Yeah, he's Snow White, but cut. So imagine if Katsue is Snow White. Who do you think would kiss him to wake him up from his coma? Probably, I think it would be Sakon. But no. Snow White also had to be kissed to cure her from the poison apple. And yes, and I'm sure a lot of the Basara fangirls would love to see Sakon and Katsue kiss, because a lot of the fandom in Sengoku Basara are yaoi fangirls.
この心に刺す明るみを一つ残らず消滅しろ
Yeah, James Arnold Taylor did voice Jack Sparrow in Kingdom Hearts 2. I feel the exact same way with James. It's so hard not to hear Obi-Wan or Ratchet when I hear him. Is there a catapult near here? Ah, there it is. Time to fly. Learning new things every day. Yep, this is the entire point of the channel. And I'm not just learning, like, I'm not the only one giving you guys new information. I feel like you guys teach me more than I do. I feel like I learn more new things about you guys than I'm the one being giving the information. Sounded like Obi-Wan doing a bad Jack Sparrow impression. I need to take out Mitsunari. Where is he? Yuna is actually one of my favorite characters to play as in Dissidia. Alright, there's a horse. Ah, damn it. That's why I want to play Final Fantasy X. Hey, Yuna is a lot of people's favorite waifu, so I can't blame you there. There is just one action RPG that looks interesting because I've seen gameplay on YouTube. How many of you have ever heard or even played the game called The Last Story on the Nintendo Wii? It is mostly her playstyle, but I like the story as well. Yeah, and if you have a Steam account, all the Final Fantasy games are on Steam. That includes Final Fantasy X and X-2. Though a lot of people would recommend Final Fantasy X more than X-2. You're absolutely right. The Last Story is the real Final Fantasy, and I find that name interesting as well. Final Fantasy, and then The Last Story. It's more or less it's more or less the same meaning. I heard a lot of conflicting opinion about the sequel. What sequel? The Last Story? The Last Story has a sequel? Oh, you mean or Final Fantasy X-2? Oh boy, X-2 is absolutely nuts. The Last Story is the real Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, again, I haven't played Final Fantasy X or X-2, but a lot of people said to me that if you want to play FF10, just play FF10. You don't really need to play X-2. That's from what people who are fans of Final Fantasy have told me.
Toyotomi no naga shimesu tori, ware wa shin ni megumarete iru.
I try to keep emulation stuff to minimum because I like owning things and it feels better to play on a console, but something is really hard to play. But when something is really hard to play, emulator it is, so PS4 it is. Well, if you're that kind of guy, Sir Isaac, I'd recommend you to get a PC. Because Steam has a really good library. Once again, on Steam, you have all the Final Fantasy games. All of them. I fully understand that, Isaac. I have a collection to build up. Yeah, I understand it as well. I like collecting physical media. Like, I would love to have a physical library of Nintendo Switch games. Though I'm making my own digital media right now. I'm collecting ISOs of a lot of my favorite games. And then store it in my flash drive. Or not flash drive, hard drive. Like, you know this application called Launchbox? That's a really good application if you want to make a digital media library for all of your games. Emulators, especially. I mean, that's good that you still own a PS2. I mean, I still own a Nintendo 64, and it still works in 2024, by the way. X-10-2 might as well be considered a joke game that ended up being canon, so it pissed people off. Cue the Kamen Rider Kiva OST.
悪いね、急いでいるんだ。早く済ませよう。僕がこうして夢を見ていられるうちに。この城をここまで攻略するなんてやるじゃないか。
Yeah, I swear to God, this Basara-han based music is really good. It reminds me a lot of Kamen Rider Kiva.
秀吉に手を挙げたのは事実。理由はさておき。 償いはしてもらうよ。俺の首でも持ってこうってか。それとも一緒。
And I kind of regret not putting his theme in my top 10 Sengoku Basara 2 Heroes character themes. Because I totally forgot he has a theme in Sengoku Basara 2 Heroes.
秀吉の何が気に入らないか。理由を聞かせてもらおうか。
Okay, you have a PC, but not a good one. Still, again, it is just a suggestion. At the end of the day, you decide. I would recommend, again, I would recommend to get a gaming PC because just the amount of things you can do with a gaming PC more so than a console. Again, that is my suggestion at the end of the day. The choice is yours. Man, I love Kamen Rider Kiba. Oh, I would love to get a Steam Deck. That's actually pretty badass, by the way. Oh, shit. Hideyoshi was not playing around with that attack. Specific boss team. I like how when you fight a certain boss with a specific character, you have a completely different theme. Yep, unique cutscene. That's kind of cool that Rikyu was able to hold Hideyoshi's massive punch with that fan.
近づけないでください。あなたの心を。誰が寂しいって。
Wait, I'll talk a little bit later. Need to focus on fighting Hideyoshi.
余裕だな。正座しながらでも勝てちまうか。だけは仰せのま。
Hideyoshi doesn't like tea time. You know who likes tea time? Yoshiaki. Rikyu would be best friends with Yoshiaki, honestly.
それがこの国を覆う毒だ。未来をまだわからぬか。格が違うのだということが。覚悟を決めな。引き飽きてんだよ。詫び事は。誰が。せめてもう少し丁寧に動いてくれ。サビスケあったよ。さあ、出せよ。力も覚悟も全てが足りぬわ。我が怒り、天王のみ血を砕け。ご自重なされよ。その傷は一刻を争いますぞ。未来をつかむひねり潰されるには潰されるだけの理由がある。この私得体が知れねえなら双子とでも思っとけよ。
Better run away, better run away, better run away.
あの舞うような動きは何だ。あれでなぜ人が倒れる。
She's chasing me all the way there. Look at that. I'm being chased by a giant gorilla.
我に交代などなし。ただ前進。そして勝利あるのみ。
Gotcha, Hideyoshi. Ah, shit. You interrupted my tea ceremony.
力が唯一であるからこそ人は研鑽を重ねるのだ。
I kind of want to finish him with the tea ceremony, but oh well. Thanks for that unnamed Toyotomi soldier. I mean, I get it, but I hate the idea of building one and then it being outdated in like 3 months and playing and having to spend more on stuff I don't need to keep playing them. You don't need to update or you don't need to upgrade PC every 3 months. Again, it depends on what PC that you're building. If you have a really good PC, you're set for the next 5 years. You're set. In fact, you can be set for the next 10 years. It always depends on, like, upgrading a PC at the end of the day is optional, but the PC is more customizable. That's one of the best parts of a PC. And whether you need to update it constantly or not, it always depends on what games you want to play and what PC build you have. Again, this is just a suggestion at the end of the day. He's coming for that ass. Oh, we're playing this mission now, the 3-way battle. Oh, it's not the end for Hideyoshi. Funny enough, this is going to be our drama route stage as well. the best way to describe 10-2 is that it's a Final Fantasy game where you play as Tsuruhime and Naotora on a mission to titillate and suffocate the world in girl power. Need a better weapon for this one? Well, yeah, let's use the ultimate weapons. And let's use traditional outfit. I mean, yeah, but I don't want to spend money on that stuff. It's just so expensive, and why buy parts to make so I can play stuff when I can buy a console for about the same price? I look at it the way, like, I look at it as a PC would be a better investment, you can say, for a longer period. It might be more expensive when you first buy it, but it's going to be worth in the long run. It's worth more in the long run. And to be fair, consoles are guilty. Yeah, exactly. Freedom. Good point, Terry. Free online and mods. You don't need to pay a service to get or to play online. Steam is a service, but it's a service for free. Now, he's flying menacingly. Welcome to Skumo. And not to mention, like, when you said about, in consoles, there's not a lot of updates, or like you don't need to constantly upgrade. I disagree with that. Consoles have upgradable. I mean, we have the PS5 Pro after 4 years of the console, and it's $700. Alright, so I barely play any kind of online game, so paying for online doesn't affect me. Again, at the end of the day, it is just a suggestion. But I will be more advocating towards PC games. I will advocate more towards PC gaming than console gaming, just because the amount of option that you have on PC. And one of the best things about PC gaming for me is PC is a universal emulator, which is why I can make what I'm doing with my emulator games is that I want to make, if I cannot make a physical library, I would go and make a digital library. Now, with the application known as Launchbox, you can manage all of your digital games, especially emulated games, really well. So that's what I'm trying to do with all of my games on PC. I want to create a digital library for my digital games on PC. Look, I'm sorry, but I just don't want to play on PC. I don't want to play the same thing. I do my YouTube and other projects. Again, I'm not forcing you to do so. I'm just giving my thoughts why I think the PC is better, or like why I would suggest more towards PC gaming. I'm not saying you have to get a PC or you have to play games on PC. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that from my perspective, why PC is the better option for gaming in general. Right, so let's see. Let's use this music. Semangat bang. Halo Profar Rivaldi. GG, gimana main Wukongnya? How's Wukong? Exactly, Terry. With PC, you can detect problems easier. They have better air circulation, so they don't overheat easily. Yeah, I know. Yeah, again, one of the reasons why I got a PC is because, one, I used to play video games. Two, I can make better YouTube videos with the PC. Yeah, exactly. So, interesting story here. I was on a Discord server. I'm still in that Discord server. I'm in Koei Collection's Discord, and someone asked, "What are your thoughts on the PlayStation 5 Pro for $700?" So I joked around saying, "I can't really relate to that issue. I think $700 for a PlayStation 5 Pro is absolutely insane, but I can't really relate to that because I'm a PC master race." I can't build a PC. I need someone to help me build a PC. but because of how much PC gaming has to offer,
なあサビスケ
I'm a PC player.
どこまで行けば
Yeah, again, exactly. Understandable, Isaac. Right, going back to the game.
結果にこだわるな取り囲み押し進みながら潰していけ
Yeah, this is our final stage. Three-way battle between Rikyu, Matsunaga, and
さて
Toyotomi.
一体何をかな私を撃ち過去のみそぎでも果たすつもりかね思い上がるな松永
That's understandable. I agree on that. Like, some PlayStation ports are absolute garbage. Last of Us, I'm looking at you. I don't know if it's still garbage.
これは太鼓なんかじゃない君との戦みんなにとってはいい試練になっただろう
ダビには不殺とも構わないだろう
Speaking of controller, you know what controller I've been using for throughout my games on PC? I'm still, till this day, use a PlayStation 2 controller. I have not used any different controller for the last almost probably 10 years.
悪いね急いでいるんだ早く済ませよう
As you're watching the stream right now, I am playing with a PlayStation 2 controller plugged on my PC. I'm using a PlayStation 2 controller and a PlayStation USB adapter. Yeah, the PlayStation $700 for PS5 is boosh.
なんなら俺が鍛えてやろうか
And honestly, like, there's not a lot of good reason to get a PS5 Pro. If most games can run on a regular PS5, you don't really need a PS5 Pro. And one of the showcase was, oh, you can run Final Fantasy VII Rebirth really well in PS5 Pro with really good graphic fidelity. But then again, like, even in a regular PS5, you can still run Final Fantasy VII Rebirth really well. Unless you really, really want that minor upgrade of visuals in a PS5 Pro. I don't think PS5 Pro is a good is money well spent. Only people who are getting the PS5 Pro are just tech tubers for comparison. There's the only console I'm using right now is Nintendo Switch.
野立ゆえにやや無作法だが楽しんでいってくれたまえ
Again, I don't think consoles are going to go anywhere. Because there are a lot of people who likes the accessibility and easiness of a console. In a way, you don't need to think about specs a lot in console. You have a PS5, you want to play PS5 games, voila.
私に教えてくれたまえ
さあ見るがいいよ松永殿秀吉が得たこの力を松永かこうして兵を操るのならかつてのあの日であったなら
Sony will drop the price, you watch.
いるわけねえよなサジより弱い武士とかなあ
Speaking of consoles, do you think Nintendo will release a Nintendo Switch 2 or a new console in general somewhere around next year or the end of the year? I can see Nintendo announcing a new console by the end of 2024. That's just me. I'm mostly playing PS4 games on my PS5 anyways.
やばいってことだけは俺にもわかるぜジンの爆発に巻き込まれて体がやはりこの国は弱い
豊臣が将の意地我に見せてみよう。かしこまり候。豊臣の将たる者が不甲斐なし。雲の子を散らすようにか。
I need Bayonetta 2 and 3 on PC.
悪い夢だ。
Only Bayonetta 1 is on PC.
勢いは明らかに我らのものぞ。
Well, you can always emulate it, Tsukumo, if you want to play Bayonetta 2 and 3 on PC. You can emulate it with a Switch emulator, or you can emulate Bayonetta 2 with the Wii U emulator, which works like a charm, by the way. Wii U emulator is amazing. The Simu. The Switch U. Next year or 2026. I think this year is a bit too early, especially with so many other games coming out like Zelda and Mario and Luigi. Fair point.
命まで不足し始めたか。この後に及んでのお預けは私としても困るのだがね。
Speaking of consoles, do you guys know the Amico in television? That scam of a console that came out around 2 years ago? That appealed mostly towards boomers or kids who were born in the 60s and 70s, and their gaming experience was like Atari 2600. Emulators and ROMs, Tsukumo, will always find a way. I'm just saying it. Yeah, do you know the controversy behind Intellivision Amico? Like, they want to bring back a console, a family-friendly console, where you can play Space Invaders or games like that. It failed. Not only it was a scam, but it failed because what I've seen how they promote the Intellivision Amico is a bunch of guys who hasn't moved on from the 80s and realized that gaming these days are not the same as what it was back in the 80s or 70s. Tommy Tallarico's obsession, yeah. People abuse those ROMs almost like they couldn't wait for Nintendo to step in. Yeah, like, nobody can relate with Amico because it... Again, the only people who would like Amico are people who used to game back in the 80s. Hell, as a guy who was born in the 90s, I don't think gaming should go back to the way it is, like in the Super Nintendo ways. Like, sure, there are some games that could work in, or like that could appeal towards newer generation of gamers. Like, I believe that beat-em-up games, arcade beat-em-up games, work. We've seen so many retro comebacks with video games, especially that came out in the 90s. I feel like 90s video games still have a place in the current world of video games. Streets of Rage 4 came back during COVID, and it was phenomenal. It was able to earn 2 million copies. TMNT Shredder's Revenge, a modern take of classic 80s TMNT beat 'em up, and just in 1 week they were able to sell 1 million copies. So those kind of like certain parts of like certain areas of gaming in the past can still work in this day and age, but not everything. Games like Space Invaders, or games that rely more on collecting points than world immersion, like the days of Atari 2600. Those games will not work in this day and age. That's why the Amico failed. I might sound like a zoomer. I mean, I don't mind it, alright? I love my zoomers. Yeah, indie games, support your local indie games. I agree on that, Isaac.
Ore wa itsu made samayoen da kana? Yasuraka ni nemurete imasu ka? あなた方の生き様、死に様、何よりも美しくこの胸に染み渡りました。恐れなくてもいいのですよ。生と死とは同じもの。情と無情もまた同じもの。共に愛しきものなのですから。そう、詫びと詫びもまた同じもの。だからさよならとは言わないよ、サビスケ。共にしてもう一人の僕。
I like how Rikyu's ending is him slaughtering a bunch of Toyotomi soldiers. That's a nice touch. Silly thing is that a lot of indie devs sell themselves short anyway, and you can get them for next to nothing or even free sometimes. To me, I always judge games by their quality. And by free I mean legitimate, like in giveaways.
So.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that. 6th gen goated time. I wish I was a teenager in the late 90s and early 2000s. I do still play some Sega Genesis games, like the Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy for Sega Genesis. I still play those games. Streets of Rage trilogy. I still play those games. Probably, yeah, the only games that I play from Sega Genesis are those games. The Streets of Rage trilogy and also the Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy. I've played more games on the Super Nintendo, or I revisited games more on the Super Nintendo because I like that library a lot more. Like, I still play Mega Man X, the 3 games on the SNES, Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3. I still play Super Mario World. Unlimited Flowerworks. there's no reason to pirate, especially when they are kind of the ones who suffer the most from it. Yeah, I feel like indie developers should... I get it, they want to be different. They want to sell their games, but they should, you know, they should sell their games. Not just give it away for free. Just to have more copies sold. Forgot to turn off the music.
聞いてくれサビスケ。どこまで行けば。
Yeah, we're playing this stage again. I mean piracy, not giveaway.
まさかこの軍勢は。へえ、咲いてんじゃねえか。炎と風が絶好の野立て日和だぜ。そう思うだろ、ワビスケ。ほう。
Oh, going back to Final Fantasy VII, did you know that originally Final Fantasy VII wanted to have a Nintendo 64 port? It was originally planned to have a Nintendo 64 port for Final Fantasy VII. So not only we're gonna have a Resident Evil 2 port on Nintendo 64, which works extremely well, to everyone's surprise. Like, I am still amazed on how Resident Evil 2 got ported to Nintendo 64. So you have 2 discs in one small cartridge. That is insane. PC engine that has some bangers like Sapphire. Like, yeah, I don't. I've heard the PC engine, but not a lot of games I'm interested for that console. Most of the 4th gen consoles that I'm interested in are from the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. And not to mention, those are the 2 consoles that I grew up with. Or maybe arcade games, right? I use an arcade emulator like me. And Neo Geo as well. I actually tried out Neo Geo emulators, Neo Geo CD, and play Art of Fighting, Fatal Fury, and King of Fighters games. Hey Tsukumo, you and I both. I'm not good at fighting games. I suck at them, but I really, really love fighting games. Oh yeah, Castlevania Rondo of Blood was on PC Engine. It's not the same with Castlevania Dracula X, right? On SNES. Yeah, let's finish this quick. Earthbound? I heard good things about that game, but it's not to my liking. Again, I might have a different point of view when I actually start playing Earthbound. Rondo of Blood is completely different from Dracula X, from what I can tell, and also better. I believe you. It's very different from Dracula X in SNES. Me and my father barely get along, but my best memory of when he showed me his Dreamcast and he used to sneak in the Navy ship when he joined the Navy. Wow, that's actually a pretty interesting story.
壊したいものそれではないだろうよ
You get to play as Maria and multiple paths? I see. It's been a while. Like, it's been so long since I played Castlevania Dracula X. The most played Castlevania game for me was Super Castlevania 4.
とでも言うべきもの
他者の心を読むいや自然と流れ込むやはりにわかには信じがたいけどね大丈夫だまだ生きている焦りは人を狂わせる果たして僕は正気なのか
Get mad in the Virtual Fighter? Nice.
秀吉にも意見できる君は貴重な存在だ秀吉と話し豊臣へと戻ってくれ
One of the reasons I emulate a Dreamcast is that so I can play Virtual Fighter 3. And also, it has the best version of Street Fighter Alpha 3. Though I'd say, other than the Dreamcast version, the best version of Alpha 3 would be the PSP version. Alpha 3 Max. Well, that's awesome. Bro, I wish Virtua Fighter is on PC. Sega, please port Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown on PC. I would love to play that. Yeah, the bladed fans make him look more badass. I agree with you, Isaac. Please, I don't know why they haven't ported their older Virtua Fighter games. I would love for all of their Virtua Fighter games on PC. Like, Virtua Fighter 2 was the first 3D fighting game that I ever played before Tekken, before Soul Blade or Soul Calibur. I played the living shit out of Virtua Fighter 2 on the arcades. So I had the arcade version. I also had Virtua Fighter Animation on Sega Game Gear. But yeah, I played back in like the early 2000s and late 90s. Whenever I go to the arcades, I always pick Virtua Fighter 2 first. And the character that I played the most was Kagemaru, the ninja, because I like ninjas. I would also love if we have a Virtua Fighter 6. And give a story as well. Virtua Fighter never had a story, unless you count the anime. His brother, your uncle, was good at Tekken, so I came from a family of 3D fighters. Nice! Katsuie did the job. I really wonder why Virtua Fighter the animation got a Game Gear game based of it. Why not?
乱世の一角たる覇王も今や昔か。やはや見事なものだ。彼はケイラのことをこの世に不必要な災いと評したが、私はそうは思わないな。
なんだと。
詫びなるケイが持つ力、共感とは実に稀有なものだ。他者の心を感じ取れるということはすなわちこの世すべての感情を知るに等しいのだからな。かまどに火を灯しこねるも一興。千のサビスケ、千のわびすけ。私がケイラの傷を癒し保護しよう。今日から私がケイラの死だ。
If you want to play Dead or Alive, Isaac, I recommend Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. That is a game for men. He caught me playing Extreme Beach Ball one day. I know how he reacted. Are you winning, son? Oh, I'm gonna fight Kenshin. I was playing the casino mode, so I was in the clear. I don't have an Xbox, so I need to get an emulator. I get that joke. No. I'm just saying, if you want to play DOA, how about you try DOA Beach Volleyball? You can play that on your laptop as well. It's on the PSP.
来ましたね。
It's on the PSP and it's also on Steam.
しかし、すでにこの地は毘沙門天の手の上。
It's actually a good game. Oh, I'm sure it is.
包み込みなさい。
ごきげんよう。軍神。最も神に近い。
Well, Dead or Alive Paradise is on Steam. The gacha game, I think. But it's basically the horny version of Dead or Alive. I mean, Dead or Alive itself is already horny, so yeah. I'm more into fighting games than sports. I can't believe it's horny.
いいのかよ。お前らは足利の配下同士だったんじゃねえのか。
それなら無用な懸念だ。
Down bad and alive, more like.
誰が呼んだか。いや、呼ばれつとも俺は来る。
And I have a PSP and I've been meaning to find a way to play ROMs on it anyways, so I'll see how that works. There are probably tutorials on YouTube you can find about that. Goon and alive. I know a lot of my friends have done it. Use a ROM to play on their actual PSP hardware. You could probably find a tutorial for it.
その稀なる衝突そのものだ。
私が不甲斐ないばかりに。
私は誰だ。
I jailbroke my Vita and can play PSP games. If y'all want to know who I want to play the most, it's Jan Lee with Christy being the close second. My favorite character in DOA is Hayabusa. Like I said, because I love ninjas.
そのかけらが眠ったそれら全てを引きずり出せたなら実に趣深いだろうそれにわびすけを使おうってか間違いね
For waifus in Dead or Alive, Ayane. Ayane all the way.
隊長よ援護無論そのためには
Hitomi, yeah, I like Hitomi too. Ayane, Hitomi, Helena.
支えてあげてくれたまえ心と体をおいそりゃ俺に死ねって言ってんのか消えてたまるが冗談じゃねえ
Best waifu. I disagree. Ayane is the best waifu. I love playing as Hitomi and Mila. I know a lot of people on my server loves Tina Armstrong. You understand. Yeah, I know everyone loves their tomboy waifus like Hitomi. When it comes to fighting game waifus, for Dead or Alive is Ayane for me. For Tekken, Reina. I like Reina, I like Julia Chang from Tekken 7, especially with glasses. I think I'm a Julia Chang glasses supremacy. Like, every time I see Julia Chang with glasses, I immediately turn into Ganryu. Julia Chun. Asuka from Tekken. Again, I like mommy waifus, Nina Williams. But I like Reina, I like Julia. Asuka and Bob. Wait, Bob is best waifu. Don't add me. For Soul Calibur, my favorite waifu would be Sophitia. Sophitia and Taki. I know most Virtual Fighter characters I would play either Jackie or Vanessa. Oh, Jackie is a good character. Vanessa, not too much of a fan of Vanessa. I like, again, my favorites are Kagemaru, Jackie, Shun, the drunken Shun, the drunken master, and Lei Fei, the Shaolin. Soul Calibur favorite waifu would be Sophitia, Taki, and Amy. As I was saying about Soul Calibur, I know most people's favorite waifu in that game is Ivy. Go figure. Taki brings me to my degenerate days. Hey, you're not a degenerate if you like Taki. You're just a man of culture. I probably judge you more if you like Ivy. You like Tira? I mean, Tira's a fun character to play as. I love how the moment the topic of waifus comes up, Kasuga shows up. Yep. It's the right time and the right place. A King of Fighter waifus. I like Vanessa. I like Mai. Because everybody loves Mai, right? Athena is okay, not my not my kind of girl. Street Fighter waifus, probably Elena. As for characters, I would rate Alex and Luke. My favorite Street Fighter character is Honda, the sumo. Doskoi. I loved him since Street Fighter 2. Waifus for Street Fighter, of course, Chun-Li, Cammy. Who else? Like the OGs. Who else do I consider like a top tier waifu in Street Fighter? Yeah, maybe just Chun-Li and Cammy. Mortal Kombat. Favorite waifu of Mortal Kombat? Jade. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Especially Jade in MK9. Mwah! Perfection.
この日の元に幾度となく繰り返されし選定の儀いざ問わんそなたは誠の
No, it's not Blueberry. Red hair with a ponytail. Athena? But she's not a grappler.
手にかけてしまったんです僕はあなたの大事な人をな見たまが入り乱れてなんと動き
仕方がないのだ。私としても手段は全てが終わった。
Jury and Viper. Yeah, I know a lot of people like Jury. Viper, especially. I think. Oh, Shermie. Yeah, I think it's Shermie, but no, she has a red hair, but not a ponytail. Jury and Viper. Yeah, I know a lot of people like I said, Jury. Viper especially. I wish Viper is back in Street Fighter 6. She's been gone for a very long time. The last time she was playable was in MVC 3. Oh yeah, sorry. Shermie does have a ponytail. She has a ponytail and also the hentai protagonist hair where her eyes are covered.
"いい気分です。まるで生まれ変わったような。
それは何よりだ。詫びなる者の特質に錆なる者の精神、武芸、それらを兼ね備えた剣こそ帝の前に立つにふさわしい。では向かうとしようか。己が欠落を埋めてもなお人の何かを取り込まずにはいられない飢えし者、不足の美よ。
MK waifus are just kind of there for me, not my thing. For characters I like though, Kung Lao and Johnny Cage. Oh yeah, Kung Lao is great. Johnny Cage is one of my absolute favorites. Favorite character in Mortal Kombat to me is Raiden. Rainbow Mika is another Street Fighter waifu. Fun fact about Rainbow Mika, by the way. Her voice actor in Street Fighter Alpha 3 was Takeuchi Junko, who is Naruto's voice actor. Yeah, the voice of Naruto voiced Rainbow Mika in Street Fighter Alpha 3. No. There's a good reason why Sub-Zero and Scorpion are great characters. You are perfectly fine, or like you are more than on the right track to like Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I mean, I love Scorpion and Sub-Zero as well. The scene where Kung Lao kills Nitara in the new live-action movie was so badass, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah. One thing I don't like about Kung Lao ever since Mortal Kombat 9, every iteration, like every game, every movie, every animated movie, he always gets killed. Kung Lao constantly gets killed. Even in the new live action movie, he got killed. Alright, final stage. Jax. I mean, Jax is cool. Hey, here's the thing. I like a lot of the characters in 3D MK. Like your Ashra, Hotaru, Boraicho. I know people like absolutely despise Boraicho. I love Boraicho. I never hated Boraicho when the first time I played Deception, because I played Deception first before Deadly Alliance. And Boraicho is just a really fun character for me. Yeah, justice for Kung Lao, I agree. Make Kung Lao great again. I hate what they did with Kung Lao. Constantly acting like a jobber. Boraicho would fit in Sengoku Basara so well, absolutely. With how over the top he is. Oh, MKX Boraicho is amazing. Boraicho. I'm glad that NetherRealm Studios acknowledges the 3D era characters in MK1. Like Ashra, Havoc, Nitara. I wish there were more 3D era characters. I like Dagon and Taven. I wish they made a comeback someday. Here's a cool cutscene. Yeah, Terry, I feel like Boraicho has a lot more similarities with Zhangfei than Chuju. It would be a mix of Basara Shingen and Zhangfei. Time to finish this. Fun fact, Tuscomo Boraicho came from the Spanish word borracho, which means drunk.
この心の波は大きすぎる。やめろ。もう
Aiming to tell me Shuju is in? Well, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Probably a set of three characters: Basara, Shingen, and Dynasty Warriors, Shuju, and Junpei. There you go. Yeah, Jerick is just meant for a joke. Same goes with Suhao.
捨てても構わないが、いいことよ。一つ私に奇跡を授けてはくれないかね。慈悲のつもりではないが、試してみたいことがあるのだ。申してみよ。
You don't like my tea party? Alright. Then you die. You're so gay!
俺は僕はサビスケ
どれ試みに一つを二つに分けてみようか。何、良き宝への返杯だ。気兼ねなく受け取りたまえ。そう、K には別離を送ろう。
サビスケワビスケ。
You and me both, Isaac. I think everyone who plays MK4 remembers that ending and then recite the lines from that ending. That is probably the most memorable ending in all of Mortal Kombat for all the wrong reasons. There's definitely a fanfiction about these two getting it. Oh no, Terry. Yeah, I believe you. Alright, let's wrap this up. You know how the internet is, Terry. Why is that the first thing you talk about? It's just an observation, Isaac. Alright, so, yeah, that's it for tonight. We had a good 3 hours of streaming Rikyu, and we are 2 characters away from finally finishing Sengoku Basara for Sumeragi. I plan to finish the entire series by this week. We have Maria and Ashikaga Yoshiteru. Next stream will be Maria, so stay tuned to that. So I'm going to end the stream right here and call it a night, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, do subscribe to the channel. If you want to hang out with the community Discord server, you can find it in the link. You can find the link in the description below. Subscribe to my second channel as well, Paripi Profar playthroughs. I am uploading Tenchu Fatal Shadows gameplay on that second channel. Look forward to that. Until then, stay tuned to the next stream for Kyogoku Maria, and I'll see you guys next time.